It's a huge boost to appear on a news channel like CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News, or any other news source if you're a lawyer. Your firm's phone will start ringing off the hook with new potential clients. But the problem is that there's only so many spots on the news, so it's hard to get an appearance. But did you know that you can get the same impact without appearing on the news? It's called newsjacking, and you can do it at home or in your office using just your phone. And it can get you potentially hundreds of thousands of followers and a consistent stream of new potential leads. Welcome to the Law Firm Growth Acceleration Talk Show. What we're going to be talking about today is actually a really cool topic. It's basically how to use something called newsjacking that is going to allow you to basically get all kinds of free advertising, get all kinds of free publicity, and make it so that you become a household name so that when people need to hire an attorney like you, you're the first person that they contact, you're the first person that they call, you're the first name that comes to mind. I want to dive right into this, but before we do that, I want to share something really cool with you. We wrote a book called Law Firm Growth Accelerator, and a lot of lawyers have read Law Firm Growth Accelerator. In fact, the book came out almost a year ago to the day. And it's actually, last time I checked, like a couple weeks ago, it was still #1 on the Amazon bestsellers for law firm advertising, law firm marketing, which is absolutely awesome. And that book is built on something called the Law Firm Growth Acceleration Model. Law Firm Growth Acceleration Model is a model where if you have these four pillars in place, it will allow you to grow a law firm that puts more profit in your pocket, that allows you to put more money in your bank account so you can actually take it home, but also it allows you to have more free time than you've ever had before. It allows you to deliver amazing case results for clients. After working with thousands of law firms, what we found is that basically there's only four things that are required there's only four things that you really have to do to grow a law firm that puts more profit in your pocket, more free time in your calendar, and gives you amazing results for your clients. And when you have these four things, let me share the screen with you real quick. All right, so this is the Law Firm Growth Acceleration Model. And basically, if you have these four things, then you're going to be able to grow a law firm that runs without you, that gives you tons of profit and gives you tons of free time, right? So it's four pillars, and we figured this out after working with thousands and thousands and thousands of lawyers, and we actually based our entire book on this. It's lead generation, intake, self-managing team, and profits. Because if you have a law firm and you don't have enough leads, then you're not going to be able to go anywhere. You're not going to get any clients. You're not going to be able to grow your firm. Leads are to a law firm as gasoline is to a car. Now, today, we're going to be talking specifically about how do you overflow your law firm with leads? How do you create tons and tons of leads so that you can then scale up and go to the intake portion and the self-managing team and the profit side of things, right? But a lot of law firms, they kind of struggle in at least one of these areas, right? They have lots of leads, but maybe they don't know how to convert the leads into clients and to retain clients or paying clients. And when that happens, what happens is you end up getting tons of leads, but no clients. And all the leads in the world are useless without clients. Now, let's say you fix your intake problem and you get tons of leads, you get tons of clients because now you have great intake, but now, who's going to do all the work if you don't have an amazing team, right? That's why you need a self-managing team of rockstar employees who run your law firm exactly how you want it run and who you can trust to get the job done so that you can take some time off. That's going to give you the free time. But then the last problem that we usually see is that lawyers will make they'll get a lot of clients, they'll get a lot of cases, they'll have a ton of revenue coming in, they'll get some free time, but then they look at their bank account and then they start seeing, oh crap, where's all of our money going? I don't know where all our money's going. Well, that's where the profit piece comes in, right? And so if you have these four pieces in place, then you can have a law firm that will give you tons of free time, will give you tons of profit that you can put in your bank account, gives you a life that others only dream of, and still delivers amazing results for your clients. So we actually put together something called a growth, profit, and freedom roadmap. And I want to give it to you completely free just for hanging out with us today. And this is what it actually looks like. It's actually a report that we're going to give you, and it's completely custom to you. And it's going to rate your law firm on a scale of 1 to 100 on all four of these areas, on lead generation, intake, team, and profit. And then what we do is we actually give you a custom plan so that if you're deficient in one of these areas, we'll actually show you specifically, okay, here, based on your answers, here's how you can fix these areas in your law firm. And this is kind of what, the big picture looks like, but this is a full report, multiple pages, completely custom to you. And it shows you exactly what you need to do so that you can build a law firm that runs without you, so that you can turn your law firm from a job that owns you to a business that you actually own. So let's go into today's topic, which is talking about something called newsjacking. Now, concept in the last couple of years with the advent of TikTok and Instagram and all this type of stuff. But essentially, what newsjacking is it is something that allows you to take advantage of current events so that you can basically use that to gain a lot of promotion and a lot of exposure for your law firm. So newsjacking is really cool because it's going to allow you to solve one of the biggest problems that most people deal with. And this is one of the biggest problems that I face also, which is like, what the heck do we talk about in our content, right? Well, one of the easiest things to do is to talk about current events, talk about things that are actually happening, talk about things that are actually related to both your area of the law and things that people actually care about, people that actually might potentially hire you in the future. And when you do this, what ends up happening is you end up building a following, and you end up building a name for yourself that really makes it so that people come to you first, right? People actually, when somebody gets into an accident, when somebody gets arrested, when somebody's going through a divorce, somebody's thinking about a divorce, you're the name that comes to mind. And when that happens, then they're not going to call you, and then they're not going to, be like tire kicking and price shopping and all that stuff. And they're also not going to be calling you and 7 of your competitors. It ends up being a situation where it's like, do you want to hire me or not? Right. And they want to hire you because you're the person that they trust. In fact, I've talked to a bunch of attorneys who have taken this strategy, and I'm going to show you some examples of newsjacking in a minute here, but a bunch of attorneys that have used this strategy, and what they describe their consultations as is no longer really about sales. It's no longer about trying to convince the person to hire you or persuade the person to hire you. It's more just order fulfillment, right? It's basically, you're the person that they've seen on their phone, or you're the person they've seen on the computer, or even the person that you've seen on TV, because I'm going to show you how you parlay this to get free advertising on the local news as well. And then it just comes down to a question of, do you want to hire me or not? Right. And I talked to some attorneys that have had, some videos get, millions of views, and it breaks some things in their law firm. It's pretty crazy. You don't realize how a million views on a video will actually break some things in your law firm. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying that to show you the impact of what this can do. So the first concept that I want to talk about with newsjacking is really just kind of familiarizing yourself with other law firms that are taking up this type of approach. And it actually doesn't even have to be just law firms. And one of the best things you can do, there's a concept that was made popular recently called funnel hacking, right? And funnel hacking is essentially, it got really, really popular by a guy named Russell Brunson. And essentially what funnel hacking is you look at what somebody else is doing, and you kind of make notes about what they're doing, why they're doing it, how it's working. And then the theory is that if you apply that to you, then, and you become inspired by what they're doing, then you should be able to get similar results. Now, funnel hacking evolved, or I should say devolved, into a lot of people just kind of like stealing each other's stuff, which isn't the right way to do it, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to kind of funnel hack, or I guess newsjack hack other people the right way, the ethical way, so that you're not stealing, but what you're doing is you're basically borrowing, and you're becoming inspired by other people, right? If you ever read the book, The Art of War, or excuse me, Steal Like an Artist, Steal Like an Artist. I was thinking of, there's another book called The War of Art that I always get confused with Steal Like an Artist, but the book Steal Like an Artist, it talks about how there's really no original ideas, right? And you can trace this all the way back. I mean, if you think about even like the Beatles, for example, if you look at the Beatles, you can trace all of the number one top musicians today, they all were inspired by the Beatles, right? Now, they might not have been inspired directly by the Beatles, but they were inspired by somebody who was inspired by somebody who was inspired by somebody who was inspired by the Beatles, right? However, if you ask the Beatles, well, what inspired you? The Beatles will self-admit they point to people like Buddy Holly. They point to, all these different artists that came before them. And I guarantee you, if you ask the artists that came before them, they would say they were inspired by other people. Fortunately, I don't think you'd be able to ask any of them because I'm pretty sure they're all dead. But the point is that there's no original ideas. Everything is built on top of another idea. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. And I'm going to show you specifically how to do it. I'm going to give you some very, very clear tactics, and I'm going to give you some chat GPT prompts. And also I'm going to show you one of my favorite AI tools that is not chat GPT that's going to allow you to do this as well. And it's going to, it's really going to make a big difference for you. Right. So first, what I want to do is I want to show you some examples of newsjacking. And the reason I want to show you these examples is because I want you to start paying attention to this stuff so that you can go out in the wild and you can basically find other people that are doing these types of things, that current events, creating views and a massive audience. Right. I worked with very recently, if I can figure out 1 second. All right, we're back. So my computer is currently restarting, and this is the ultimate lesson in intention follows disruption. Interestingly enough, this is the first time. Chase, how many presentations have we done? Would you say over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years? Maybe 200 presentations, 400 hundreds of presentations. Hundreds. This is literally the first time I've ever done where everything has crashed and I just am not able to function. So apologize for that, but you guys are all witnessing something that's never happened to me before, which is really, really exciting. So I'm trying to do this while multitasking, and I'm not good at that. So, all right. So Chase, maybe you can pull a few things up while, can somebody else share the screen? And while I'm getting my computer back up here, maybe you can share some of the channels that I want to show real quick. I want to show Legal Eagle's YouTube channel real quick.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. So go into Legal Eagle's channel real quick. Okay. So Legal Eagle is a great one to study. And the reason that I say he's great to study is because he's literally doing this exact strategy. What he's doing is he is taking current events and he's turning them into content videos. So you can see the very top, the first video that came out 22 hours ago is can the military refuse Trump's orders? Right now, this is a topic that is very hot right now. That obviously everybody's talking about the military. Everybody's kind of worried about what's going to happen with all these protests, all that type of stuff. And hey, Chase, I'm in the waiting room if you want to let me back in. So he turned it into. Hang on, you got to mute yourself. All right, so he turned it into a. Video that, how many videos? 547,000 views already, right? But if you look at basically every single video topic that he has here, he talks about current events. You've got the Diddy trial. You've got what does that say? Marines in LA. You've got the senator that was arrested, that was actually thrown out of that press conference recently, right? So basically, what he's doing is he's taking current events and he's using them as the lead-ins, and he's creating content on them. And each one of these videos is getting millions and millions of views, which is really, really cool. So Legal Eagle is a great example of newsjacking, right? So let me tell you about another one that's now, but most people aren't going to get, millions and millions of views like Legal Eagle. So let me show you some more realistic ones. So let me go here and share this. All right. You guys see my screen now? Chase, give me a thumbs up. All right, fantastic. All right, so let's go with Josh Goldstein. Josh Goldstein is a client of ours, or he was a former client. Not this guy, Josh Goldstein, immigration. There we go. So this is Josh Goldstein, right? And immigration
is going to answer.
Immigration is a fantastic thing to talk about when it comes to newsjacking, just because of the fact that there's so much stuff happening right now. So what he did, though, and you can actually see some of these videos, a lot of his videos, he gets 200, 600, 2,300, 14,000. But look at this video. This is a month ago, 203,000 videos, or sorry, 203,000 views. And what does it say? 2025 travel warning for citizens in Trump's America, right? Here's another one. Traveling soon, green card holders watch this first. So basically what he's doing is he's taking local news, he's taking current events, he's taking what people are already thinking about, and he's creating content on it, right? He actually he did this. This is back when he was a client of ours, and we were kind of advising him on some stuff. Now, I'm not taking credit for this, but I mean, he was working with us during this time. When Biden was elected president, he threw this video up. Top 10 likely immigration changes under Biden. 775,000 views. So what's cool about this is that when you create content like this and people share it and you get this many views, first of all, your phone is going to ring off the hook. But second of all, what happens is you get tons and tons of people that want to hire you and you specifically, because believe it or not, they kind of look at you like you're a celebrity. It's really, really crazy. It's basically, this puts you at a level of authority that is much higher than all of your competitors and all of your colleagues that are not creating content and not people that they're accustomed to seeing. Because one of the things that makes you authoritative is the medium at which people tell you information. So I want you to think about something. Imagine that you're at a conference, right? Imagine you're at a conference and the person sitting next to you gives you some advice about how to get clients for your law firm, right? Now, maybe you'll listen to that person, maybe you won't listen to that person. I'm not really sure what you'll do, right? But are you much more likely to take the exact same advice if the advice comes from A, the person sitting next to you in the conference, or B, the person standing on stage giving a presentation at the conference? Yeah, I see a lot of B's, right? Even if the advice is exactly the same, it's the medium in which you get the information, right? That's where authority comes from. So what this is doing is this is making you the authority, and it makes it so that people want to hire you because you're the authority. People want to hire the authority, right? Now, let's go over to TikTok, and I want to show you some other examples here because it's not just Josh, and it's not just on YouTube. So this is an attorney who creates a lot of really interesting content. Now, you can see what's possible here. She's got 1.8 million followers on here, and you can see some of these videos, 6.7 million views, 1 million views, 49,000 views, 102,000 views. And the interesting thing about this is that all she's doing is she's creating content just talking about random breaking news and random things that are happening, right? So when I sort by latest, you can see, okay, so let's see. Yeah, you can see right here, major breaking news with what's happening in California. 23andMe update, right? Burger King class action lawsuit, right? These are all things that are relevant happening in the news, and she's creating content about it. And it's very, very easy for her to create content because you just look at what's in the news and you just talk about it. Like everyone here is an expert in your area. And I'm sure you can put together, interesting thoughts and interesting comments on things. Now, you're not giving legal advice. You're not doing that. You're just giving your opinion on a lot of this stuff. So what I want you to do is I want you to start paying attention to other lawyers that are having success in these type of environments. And I'm going to show you one more, and then we're going to kind of get into exactly how to do this. So that's the lawyer Angela. And then here's another one on TikTok. Now, this is Law by MJ. And I saved this one for last because this is actually one of my favorites. And the reason this is one of my favorites is because it shows you that you don't have to be very good, right? Like this guy, and nothing against this guy, but he's not that good. He's not that great on camera. He also he's using, like, his audio isn't very good. His framing isn't very good. His delivery is not very good. And yet he's got 2.4 million views, 1.9 million views, 2.3 million views, right? You just have to show up. Like the funny part is that 99% of this game is just showing up, just doing the work, because human nature will tell you that most people, most of your competitors will not do this stuff. Most of your competitors will not put themselves out there and create content. I want to show you this guy's video real quick. I think I need to actually reshare it because I think that I just need to optimize to share the screen. I want to show you this guy's video real quick and just show you that it's not really that great. Watch this video here. This is
There's been the first fatality.
2.4 million views. Watch it. It's 2.4 million views. The audio is not very good. He's not very high energy. He's just talking about something that's interesting. And this video got 2.4 million views.
There's been the first fatality wreck with a Tesla Cybertruck. It happened right here in Houston, just southeast of Houston in Baytown. Actually, it was a single car collision, and the driver of the Tesla truck ran off the road into a ditch, collided with a concrete culvert. Impact pierced the battery compartment, and the metal hitting the lithium ion battery
Like, this video is not that good, right? Give me a one in the chat if you think you could do a video like at least like this, but at least like this, right? Like, he's not a lot of high energy. He doesn't have great audio. He's just sitting there talking. He's probably got his notes on his phone, right? And this video got 2.4 million views. And the reason why is because the way that the algorithms work is really beneficial to everyone that doesn't have a lot of viewers right now, right? So you may be thinking, well, I don't have a ton of viewers right now. I don't have a ton of I don't have a ton of viewers. I don't have a ton of followers. I don't have subscribers, things like that. Well, the cool thing is that the way the algorithms work right now, you don't need a ton of subscribers. You don't need a ton of followers to have a video, to have video after video after video that get tons of views, because the way that it works is it's actually rewarding the individual video, not the account, right? Like on YouTube, it's a little bit more tricky just because of the fact that what you have to do is you have to build up subscribers and all that type of stuff. Now, Shorts is a little different. Shorts is changing the game on YouTube. But if you create videos in a way that I'm going to show you how to do this in a few minutes, then you can have videos where the performance isn't that great. The audio, the video, the production's not that great, but it's still getting millions and millions of views, which is ultimately going to bring in lots of business for your law firm. So let's dive right into this. I know I've been kind of talking a lot and we've been having some technical difficulties here, but let's dive right into showing you how to actually do this. And I've got some really cool stuff to give you guys. First thing is, I want to show you guys how to find stories, right? Because one of the biggest problems that a lot of people tell me about is they say, I just don't know what to even talk about. Well, lucky for you, I put together some AI prompts to take care of that for you. So this is the prompt that you guys should all have, right? So what I did is I copied this prompt and I took it in here. Let me just start over here. All right, so you paste it in here, and this is the prompt. All you do is you change your practice area here. So I'm just going to type criminal defense, and what it's going to do is it's going to go out, and now you can see, what it's doing. It's actually going out. You can see it found 18 sources this time, and it goes out and it finds the actually finds the trending topics for the prompt that we're looking for, right? So high engagement trending criminal law stories for social media, June 2025. All right, so number one is going to be the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial, right? So there's a lot of stuff that you can talk about in there. There's one, Lori Vallow. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. Brian Kohlberger, Idaho student murders, celebrity lawsuits. Okay, so Shannon Sharp, former NFL star, is a $50 million lawsuit alleging sexual assault by an OnlyFans model. Drake is suing Universal Music Group. So these aren't all criminal. Well, I guess the Shannon Sharp sexual assault thing would be criminal. Then you got some Supreme Court cases happening. So basically, you can look at this and you can get a bunch of ideas that are going to be on top, that you can create topics for. So now what do you do with this, right? So you take this, and I've got a second ChatGPT prompt right here. Now, this ChatGPT prompt right here is designed to actually give you some angles for these stories. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into my second favorite AI tool, which is ChatGPT. And you're going to take this prompt right here, and you're going to put the topic in that you want to use. So once you go through all the answers in here, like let's say you want to talk about, let's say you want to do a thing about the Tupac Shakur thing, right? All right, so let's say the Tupac Shakur thing. The Tupac Shakur murder trial is back in the news, and new allegations and motions involving Diddy keeping decades-old mystery alive and drawing in younger audiences, right? So what we want to do is we want to copy that, and then we have this prompt right here, and it says, please give me a compelling angle that will make everyday people care about this topic if I were to film a social media video on it. Also, please provide a strong scroll-stopping hook that I can use to open the video. So topic, and then we're just going to paste that topic in there right now. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to actually create an angle for you that you can actually use to talk about this. So the scroll stopping hook, and the reason that we're going to talk about the scroll stopping hook is because the way that you get these the way that you get people to actually watch your content is through the hook. The first 3 seconds of the video are vitally important. Actually, I should say that's not right. That's not true. The first like half second of your video is vitally important. Like what you say in the very beginning of your video is extremely important. And that's why you want to start with a scroll stopping hook. So sometimes it's hard to come up with a hook. So we just let ChatGPT do it. So the hook in this one could be, did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murders? New court filing says yes, and is blowing the case wide open. Like you could literally start your video like that, and that will get people who are interested in this to stop and pay attention, right? So then what this is going to do is it's going to tell you kind of how to tie this into, everything else. So tie this decades-old case to themes of justice delayed, celebrity accountability, and how power protects people until it doesn't. This isn't just about a hip hop beef or nostalgia. It's about how long-term truth can be stay buried, who decides what gets investigated, and why it matters, even if you want to lie at the time Tupac was shot, right? And then it even will give you like bullet points from the script. Now, what's interesting is that you can then look at this, but then we want to like validate this idea. And we also want to get some ideas of what are videos on this topic that have already gotten lots of views. So the next step that we're going to take now that we actually have our hook and we have, our topic, is we're going to go to TikTok. And we go to TikTok. This is really cool about TikTok. You can actually see what is more likely to go viral, and then you can see how they made their videos go viral, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to TikTok and we're just going to type some keywords. So we're going to type Diddy and we're going to type Tupac. So we search that, and then what happens is, what's cool is that you can hit videos, and when it goes to videos, now you can see the number of likes each video got. Now, the reason that this is important is because look at this video right here, 811,000 likes. If this video got 811,000 likes, that means that one, it was viewed more than 811,000 times because of the fact that, not 100% of people are going to click the like button. This probably got 5 million views, right? But what we want to do is we want to look at the videos that got lots of views, and then we want to say, okay, what visual hooks did they use? What cues did they use? How did they start the video? And we want to take note of that for when we're creating our own video, because success leaves clues. If you see a video that is on the same topic that uses a hook that you can replicate, then there's a good chance that if you do it enough times, you're going to end up getting similar results. So let's look at this one real quick.
So Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie Smalls? Am I hearing this right? Prosecutors confirmed.
Okay, so did you see the hook, right? So basically there's a couple hooks on here, and there's two different types of hooks that you can have. There's audio hooks and there's visual hooks, right? So this video right here, what does she have on this video? She has a picture of Diddy. She has a picture of Tupac, right? So that's going to be your visual hook, right? And then notice the audio hook that she starts with.
So Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie.
There's actually two hooks here. One is Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie Smalls ? Right? And then there's also the audio hook.
So Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie Smalls? Am I hearing this right? Prosecutors.
So the reason that I'm showing you this right now is because, as I said, success leaves clues. When you find the topic and then you find another video on that topic that has been successful, then you can take pieces of what they did, and then you can do that as well, and you're likely going to have similar results. And then so it's 811,000. Let's see. And then you could just kind of scroll through and see which ones catch your eye also. So like here's another one, 81,000. Did Sean P. Diddy Combs order $1 million hit on Tupac Shakur, right? So these are things that we can start looking at this, and we can start realizing that, okay, so here's another one. That's only 292 views. Let me see which else is on the topic here. Tupac tried to warn us about Diddy. I mean, honestly, I would probably go with these two if I was going to be doing this, but this is the one that I would probably emulate right here, right? So let's think about this. So how can we do this? So basically what I would do is I would, first of all, we've got our hook right here. And it's, did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open, right? So this is exactly how I would open the video. And on my video, I would make sure I had a picture of Diddy and a picture of Tupac on the top of the video. And that's what I would start with. And if you do that, and then you go into, content that basically talks about it, and then you relate it back to, and then the secret is relating it back to just kind of general law that anybody can relate to, then, or general like advice or things like that, or basically like, content that would be applicable to everybody. Then what ends up happening is you end up with these videos that are going to go wildly viral, right? So it works really, really, really well. And like, there's a tons of different examples of this. So let's do another one here, just for fun. Let's do one in, all right, let's say car accident, immigration, family law. All right, hold on a second. All right, so going back to perplexity, let's try this one. All right, so let's say I'm an injury attorney. Let's see what comes up with injury. All right, so let's let Perplexity do all the work for us. And then here's the other thing. While this is going, another thing you can do is you can go to Google Trends. Google Trends is another really good place to get topics. So all you do is you go to trends.google.com. Okay, you see Google Trends. All right, so Google Trends is another great thing that you can just to give you ideas. Now, this is going to give you a kind of a wider picture, and then you need to narrow it down a little bit. But Google Trends, you can come in here, and I like doing past 7 days, and then you can kind of start seeing what are people talking about over the last 7 days that are trending topics that people would be interested in, right? So let's see, let's make this 50. R. Kelly overdose. I don't know what that is. Let's see, Google passwords leak. So we could do something about that. Like what's the liability of Google and their password and their, their responsibility to protect your passwords. Let's see, Trump phone. I'm sure there's some sort of way you can tie this to fraud or something like that. Astro World documentary. This is a great one. So the Astro World documentary, by the way, did anybody watch that? It's pretty crazy how that happened. But this Astro World documentary would be a great thing to talk about. How I think it was 8 people got killed at the Astro World concert, and talk about the liability and all that type of stuff. Let's see what else is in here. SpaceX explosion, Trump, Iran. What else? Let's see. But my point is that you can just go through here and just start thinking, you just see, oh, here's a one, Deion Sanders' son. So he got arrested, or he got something for speeding. He was going 101 miles an hour, I think, in a 60-mile-an-hour zone. That would be a great one to talk about here. So watch this. So if we go here, let's copy his name, and then let's go here, just search that. And this is the cool thing. So you can search, here you go. Okay, so I don't know how you pronounce his name. Is it Shador Sanders? 100 miles per hour, because I know he just got a ticket for going 100 miles an hour, right? So check this out. Here's a video right here, full Shador Sanders speeding ticket body cam footage. So you could do like a lawyer reacts video with this body cam footage, right? And look at this, 33,000 likes. So let's see how this one started out. Okay, so what I would do in this scenario is I would start exactly like this. I'm sure you can go to Google or somewhere and download this video, and then you put at the top of the video full Shador Sanders speeding ticket body cam footage, and then you could even do a lawyer reacts video. So what I would do is I would just add lawyer reacts to full Shador Sanders speeding ticket body cam footage, and you can do that video, and that I guarantee you would get decent views, right? So this is how you can use Google Trends to just find additional stuff. All right, let's go back to the injury attorney stuff. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so first one, Shannon Sharp lawsuit. So Blake Lively, $400 million Louisiana refinery verdict. Jury awarded a record settlement, $411 million to a worker catastrophically injured in a refinery scaffolding accident. Okay, so this might be a good one. Oh, here's another one. Texas, $56 million hit and run verdict. A hit and run crash left a young cyclist with permanent brain injuries. Here's another one, $36.4 million car accident award. Let's see, social media addiction lawsuits. That's actually interesting. So there's a ton of things. I think there's so many things that you could talk about here, right? Gwyneth Paltrow's ski crash trial, the hit and run ski I cannot read today. The hit and run ski collision case, which became a viral meme and ended with Paltrow prevailing, remains a touchstone. All right, I don't know what this is, but and then there's also the Britney Spears backup dancer lawsuit. So there's a lot of good stuff that you could talk about in here, right? You could definitely create stuff in here, and you could learn more. Now, let's say you don't really know. Let's say you don't really know what any of this stuff is, right? So you can come here. You could say. So like let's say you want to talk about Britney Spears, right? Because it's a thing that you know that you want to talk about, but you don't know exactly a lot about it, right? Well, one, what you can do is you can just go back to TikTok again and look Britney. That's not how you spell Britney. Britney Spears backup dancer lawsuit. And you can watch videos and get an idea of what's actually what people are talking about it with it. And it doesn't seem like anybody's actually talking about it. Okay, here we go. So here's one Britney update legal edition. Let's see.
Let me hit you with this baby one more time. A judge denied Brit.
Okay, so that's law. That's law by Mike. Yeah. So, but again, if there's not a lot of talking about it, then maybe it's not even a good topic to talk with to talk about in the first place, right? Because if there's not a lot of videos that are getting a lot of traffic on it and a lot of views, then it might not be a great video for you to talk about in the first case. Because if it's not, if a lot of people haven't watched the videos, then it might not be your best option to create content on it. But there's a lot of stuff you can do in here, right? And if you're not exactly sure what what any of these things are, go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to explain it to you. So let's just give you an example of that. What is the Britney Spears backup dancer lawsuit about? And ChatGPT will give you a quick breakdown of it, and then you can have an intelligent conversation about it, and you can create the content about it, right? Yeah. So this is super easy. It tells you exactly what happened with the lawsuit, right? Okay, so now let's talk real quick about how do you actually film these videos once you have a hook, once you have the idea, once you have all that stuff, right? So let's go back to the Diddy one real quick. Where's my sidebar? Here we go. All right, so the Diddy one here. Okay, so basically so you can take a bullet point breakdown for your script. You can do that, or you can just say, please write a short form video script for this topic using the hook above. Okay. So here's going to be, now it's going to create a short script real quick. Okay, so here's the script. Now, I'm going to show you how quickly you can turn this into a video. So check this out. Now, I'm not going to edit this script. You probably want to do a little bit of editing, but what you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called QPrompter, and you're going to paste your script in here. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to stop this real quick, and I'm going to share my whole screen because I want to show you a software called Descript. Okay, so all right. Do you still see QPrompter, Chase?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So QPrompter is a teleprompter. Let me show you what this looks like. So QPrompter is actually a teleprompter, and you can click play, and it will actually run your script for you. Right now, there's another video software that I use constantly. It's called Descript. So Descript, I think it's like $20 a month. Descript is way cheaper than it should be. And basically, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go to new project, video project. And come down here. So we'll call this Diddy video, and hit record, camera. So now you're going to see that it's recording my screen. So watch this. So I'm going to hit, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit record. So 3, 2, 1. All right. Now I'm going to go to the teleprompter. I'm going to hit teleprompter. Okay. Did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. And then it's going like this. Okay, so Tupac was gunned down in 1996. For 30 years, no one's been held responsible. But now, a man named Keith D, who says he was in the car when Tupac was killed, is finally on trial. All right, so I normally cut out all this extra stuff here. Cut to the, okay. And in brand new court documents, his legal team is pointing fingers at Diddy, saying he ordered the hit on Tupac. They even claim he paid $1 million for it. Cut up here. This isn't some conspiracy theory on YouTube. This is coming right out of court right now. Okay, so now, if it takes this long to get the truth in a case with this much attention, if it takes this long to get to the truth in a case with this much, I'm gonna do it one more time. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of all these edits too. If it takes this long to get to the truth in a case with this much attention, if it takes this long to get to the truth in a case with this much attention, what chance does the average person have of getting justice? Let me know in the comments. Do you think the truth is finally coming out, or is this just more smoke? Now, obviously, you could, let me stop this real quick. Now, obviously, you could edit this video, and you really should edit this video, but I want to show you, or edit the script, but I just want to show you real quick how you do this. So what the script is doing right now, it's doing a couple things. The first thing is, you'll notice that I was actually looking down. I wasn't looking at the camera, but that's no problem. I was reading from the teleprompter. My camera's here. My computer screen is here. So what I actually can do into script is I can go back and I can fix my eye line. So I'm reading here, but when I click a button into script, it's going to make it look like I'm looking right at the camera. It's freaking awesome. Now, you can see also it says transcribing 60%. So what it's doing right now is it's transcribing the video. So all I have to do, first of all, I'm going to do that, hit it with a Command A, hit underlord, and then eye contact. And now it's applying eye contact to the entire video. Now, while that's happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to edit the video. And you can see right, and you edit the video like you edit a Word document. So check this out. All right, now I'm going to go to the teleprompter. I'm going to hit teleprompter. Okay. Did Diddy have something to do? Okay, so watch all of this right here. I'm just going to cut this out. I don't, it doesn't matter. So now, did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. And then it's going like this. Okay, so okay, so I said that. So now I'm just going to cut that. And boom. So now watch this. Something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. Tupac was gunned down in 1996. For 30 years, no one's been held responsible. But now, a man named Keith D, who says he was in the car when Tupac was killed, is finally on trial. All right, so I normally cut out all the... Okay, so I can just keep cutting all this stuff out, right? And it just makes the whole thing. Now, where's my eye contact? All right, you see eye contact is still processing. Eye contact usually takes a couple minutes here. But what's amazing is that you can just go through and you just edit it like it's a Word document, right? And I want to show you the eye contact thing, because the eye contact thing is really going to blow your mind here. So it's, oh, wait. Yeah, so the eye contact thing is, can you just start and stop the video like CapCut? Yeah, you can do that also. I'm just trying to show you the really simple way to do it. Let me see if I have one that I did eye contact on. Yeah, so basically what you do is, you do this, and then we'll let this finish processing real quick. Here, I'm actually going to delete all of this. I'm going to delete the rest of this stuff, just so you can it might speed the eye contact thing up a little faster. Hold on. Did he have something? Okay, no, it didn't. All right, so now let's try eye contact again. Okay, did you guys see that? Watch this. Watch my eyes. Are you guys seeing that? See, I'm looking down. Now I'm looking up. Now I'm looking down. Now I'm looking up. So watch this. Did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. Tupac was gunned down in and you can see I did like a sniffle there. So all you do is just this right here. You just come in here. Boop. And then, did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. Tupac was gunned down in 1996. For 30 years, no one's been held responsible. But now, a man named Keith D, who says he was in the car when Tupac was killed, is finally on trial. So you do that, and then you can click this and change this to landscape, portrait for landscape. And then, you can adjust the sizes and everything. And it's super easy. It's so easy to make videos, and you don't need any editing experience. You don't need anything. So now I do this. Did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filing. So yeah. So, okay. So then how do you add more stuff, right? So let's go here and we'll just say like, Tupac, Diddy. All right, let's see if there's a picture side by side of Tupac and Diddy. All right, so right here you got Tupac and Diddy, right? So basically, this is not. Let's see. I don't know. It's kind of a blurry. All right, so I'm gonna say copy image here, and then let me see if I can add it. Okay, so watch this. Now I got this down here. So now you got the picture of them. Something to do with Tupac's murder. All right. So now, like I said, the other thing was elements, or sorry, there was text, right? So we'll do a title text, and we'll just say, what was that? What was that one that was in here? It was, I can't remember what we said. It was Diddy Tupac, and then Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie Smalls ? All right. So now we come in here. So Diddy killed Tupac. Say, did he kill Tupac? And then you throw some effects on here. You throw, you can play around with all the stuff on here. I'm just going quick, because we're almost out of time here. But then you can move it up here. You can do small like that. I'm just, like I said, I'm just doing this really quickly, but you can play around with this. And now we've got this video. Did Diddy have something to do with Tupac's murder? New court filings say yes, and it's blowing the case wide open. And then, you can drag this if you don't want this in here anymore. So the case wide open. That. Tupac was gunned down. Yeah. So as you can see, there's like all kinds of cool stuff you can do as you're using the script while you remove the text in the video area. You really messed with the video. What that? Lost most of my sound. Okay. Got it. So yeah. So basically, if you follow this strategy and you do this on a consistent basis, then what's going to happen is then you're going to start creating content that people actually care about and people are actually interested in. Now, how do you take this to the next level? The next level is not only do you put this on social media, not only do you put this in your, on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but then what you do is you go to your local news organizations and you reach out to the reporters who are covering this, because the thing you have to understand about reporters is that reporters are always looking for stories, and they're always looking for experts who can comment on their stories. Most people don't realize this, but reporters have a very, very stressful job, and their job is essentially to find something to talk about every single day. So if you can provide a topic for them to talk about, if you can provide content for them to talk about, if you can make their job easier, then what's going to happen is they're going to actually put you on the news, and they're actually going to give you free publicity, which is really, really cool. And when you're following this process, you're already going to know that you have that you have information that people care about because of the fact that it's been validated, first of all, by other people that have created videos that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views. But then once your videos start getting a lot of views also, then you can take those same videos and you can send them to the local news and the local newspaper, and you can get exposure there, which makes you even more of an expert and more of an authority in your local market, right? Now, this is why this is important. In a medium-sized market, 400,000 people watch the local news every single day. 400,000. So even though it kind of seems like it might be kind of like an irrelevant thing, if you can actually become an expert for these reporters, then what's going to happen is they are going to they're going to start reaching out to you. They're going to put you on the news, and you're going to be an authority, and they're going to go back to you over and over and over again because they know that you're reliable. So the way that I always do it is I just go to Google and I'll search for, so let's say we're trying to figure out this, this Diddy thing one more time, right? So now I'm in Atlanta. So let's say Atlanta, okay, actually type this, Atlanta local news Diddy. So you can see you've got Fox 5 Atlanta. Let's just go with this one, right? So let's see, that doesn't have it. Okay, Fox 5 Atlanta. So we can figure out who is the reporter on this. Let's see. Oh, it says your video is going to start in 5 seconds. Hold on 1 second. If we look and see who the reporter is, let's see, who is that? I don't know this person's name, and it's not popping up. Well, bad example. All right. So what you can do is, let's say Atlanta local news. See, Atlanta NBC local news Diddy. Here, 11 alive, right? Okay, so let's see. Where is the? They normally have the reporters' names in here, but for some reason, it's not. The reporters' name's not in here. But anyway, what you can do is you can find the reporters' names. Well, let's see. How about if you go, you can find the crime reporter. That would be good, right? So Atlanta local news. So let's go here. Let's see. Where's your crime? Teen shot in head. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where is okay, Jessica Moore, right? So we look up Jessica Moore. So this is 11 alive. So Jessica Moore, 11 alive, Atlanta. So now we're going to get her LinkedIn profile, and then this will give you contact information. There's probably going to be Muckrack is another one that you might be able to get to, but there's a lot of different places where you can find her profile, or you can reach out to her on Twitter, a lot of different places, and then you can actually reach out to this person and say, "Hey, I saw that you're covering local crime. I saw that you're covering all this stuff." Now you can, actually reach out and pitch her, and you can get featured on the news because of the fact that you're providing valuable information. You say, "Hey, listen, I saw you covered the Diddy trial. Here's a video I actually did, or here's 2 or 3 videos I actually did about the Diddy trial. And if you need any information, if you want any more comments, if you wanted a local expert in whatever, then I'm the one here for you." And more times than not, this actually works. I've told so many clients about this strategy, and it's worked very, very well. So, all right, guys. Well, we are actually a couple minutes over. So this has been a little bit of a crazy episode. I apologize for all the technical difficulties here, but I really hope that you guys got something out of this. Did you guys get some value out of this, even though my computer was trying to fight with me the entire time? Let me know in the chat if you guys got something out of this despite all this, so I can be happy that at least we provided some value here. So fantastic. All right, cool. And don't forget, if you guys are trying to figure out how can you create a law firm that you own, that doesn't own you, that is actually a business that you own rather than a job, that basically kind of frustrates you and makes you feel stuck, then I'd really encourage you to get the growth, profit, and freedom roadmap that we dropped in the chat earlier. If team, if you want to drop that again. And basically, once again, what this is the growth, profit, and freedom roadmap. It's a free report. It's completely custom to you. And what it's going to do is it's going to scale and rate your law firm on the law firm growth acceleration model in 4 areas: in lead generation, intake, your team, and your profits. And basically, we're going to give you a score of 0 to 100 in each one, and then a custom report showing you how can you get more leads, how can you improve your intake, how can you hire better employees, how can you hold your employees accountable, how can you make sure that your team is more productive, and then finally, how can you actually make a bigger profit so that you're not losing money hand over fist like so many businesses, including myself, for a very long time before we kind of started really examining our profit plan. So it's very, very eye-awakening, or it's very, very eye-opening. And I highly encourage everyone to do it because there's no cost right now. I think we're probably going to charge for them eventually. But team, if you want to drop that link one more time. And fantastic. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, listen, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope you guys all enjoyed this event, and we will talk to you guys all soon. Thanks a lot, everybody.